Talk to me honestly. I'm here. I'm here. Talk to me. I'm here. I've been so far away.
What's up? Good morning. Good morning. You have a problem? You're seeing Rocket Scooter in your dreams?
I don't know where
That's awesome. Or maybe not. I don't know. That's hilarious. What up, Scooter Squad? Good morning. You have lo-fi dreams? I don't remember most of my dreams anymore. As a kid, I used to remember them all the time. Well, if you're practicing risk management in your dreams, that makes me happy. Wait, a browser? What? Hold on. Let me see that. Good morning. What's up, awesome? The link doesn't take you to YouTube, but to your browser. The YouTube link I posted, huh?
talk to me honestly. I'm here. I'm here.
So, yesterday market squeezed up higher. Too bad I missed it. We had to leave. I left like right here. I had to leave for the day. Saw that all on my phone. It's like, oh, there it goes. So yeah, you know, as we've been talking about since October, the short squeeze. Short squeeze, short squeeze, short squeeze. Still going. In a class on this yesterday. It was really nice. All right. Quick pre-market check. All things good. Rational across the board. We are trading above triple B, so keep an eyeball on this 1935 on VIX. It's a very key level. If we continue to rally today, be careful that there's an interaction here that would limit the move. So whenever you see the VIX like this, so the very first interaction with it after the rollover, there's always pivoting off of this level. So doesn't mean it's going to bounce, but it will introduce a pivot anytime you touch it. Here's an example. You touch it, sometimes there's a big reaction, sometimes there's a overshoot and a big reaction. And triple B is a big deal. Always a big deal. Here's an example of many times I did that before. Pivot, 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 pivot. So it doesn't mean it has to. Some days it fights its way there and comes down, but there's always a fight there, even if the fight wins to the bull side or fights to the volatile side. You just know that if you're longing, once VIX hits that triple B, that's a pivot that's going to come down. This is a trade setup that takes us a couple times a month. So that your limitation has to consider this. The unusual rules are there. So we like to script out every day that goes by for everything we can think of that can cause volume. This interaction is one of them. Market starts in 4 minutes. Continuous jobless claims, initial jobless claims. Continuing jobless claims have come down a little bit, which is actually good. We're still inflated for the year since the bottom of the market came in. So basically, after the first 2 waves of unemployment or layoffs, people are sitting here they're unable to get jobs. Right? Waves 3 and 4 are sinks of unemployment they're just growing. So people can't get their jobs back. Wages going to come down. Inflation's going to come down. We always talk about that metric. That's what let us call the bottom back in October. Waves 1, 2, 3, and 4, as we said that. Waves 3 and 4, this is the time when the continuing unemployment filings, the qualifying. Let me wake up. First of all, the number of unemployed individuals who qualify for benefits are going up. People are still unemployed and qualify. It means that not everyone's returning to work as quickly. Wages should be coming down. This is a nod to inflation coming down, which means the Fed's gonna have a lighter hand on the rate hikes. Okay, 3 minutes open. So all things are pointing to the Fed slowing down. This thing that we talked about late last year. Home sales coming through in 30 minutes. Could be a big thing to watch out for. April BBB is what? No, you went the March one. I'm sorry, not April. Sorry, June one. 1935. Michael hit you with it. Day after of expiration tends to be volatile. Yeah, it does. Tends to be something. That usually it's the interaction with that triple B, and that's what causes that, by the way. Which you got in that move, but glad to follow what made sense to you. I would have probably taken that same trade, Barb. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. I am good. How are you? Oh, life can be better. Could I check the DAX? I used to look at DAX on TradingView. I could pull that up in a little bit. We gotta get started in a couple minutes, so let's get ready. What do you want me to look at on the DAX? Good morning, guys. Good morning. Good morning, John Rad. Okay, looks like we did fill in that gap yesterday. So just clean that off. New DD bands. I should just. So futures data. We're actively working on this project to get it coded on our test server. So there's a lot of steps to it. It's exciting. Exciting. Strange audio. What does it sound like? I just turned the music off. Describe the audio to me. Reverb and echo. Oh, you're probably listening to me on 2 different places. And feeding back into a mic or something. Yeah, let's get this front and center. Maybe your computer. Your mic could be picking up your video output, your audio output. You notice monthly map goes out to September now? Yeah. Monthly map goes out as far as like 3 months or 4 months out. As long as you have data, it'll draw it as far as it has data. 2 mats don't make it right. Oh, y'all are silly. All right. SPY mean reversion. Okay, here we go. In the middle, there's a balance point in the middle, so we are trading below bull zone, above bear zone, support at hedge pressure. DD comes in positive. It's a hedge pressure bounce to here, so the tiny little scalp from here to here today doesn't look like it's a rally up day today. There's a bull setup, questionable if I want to take it or not. BLU on Nasdaq though, that's really nice. So as Nasdaq interacts with the bottom bull zone, if DD comes in good, then I'm going to be able to long there successfully. Let's give resilience a little bit of time to play out, because remember the last couple days when we opened the market, resilience would just drop really rapidly. right? IWM already hedge break out the door. So let's give resilience a couple of minutes to stabilize. Ooh, okay. Caution right out the door. And if IWM loses 175, it's an illiquidity pocket. What is that bleep sound? Oh, I know what it is. All right, could be a reaction down day to yesterday. Russell could drag everything down. In illiquidity pockets, things tend to be very rapid and violent here. So Russell can fall very quickly down here too. And let's double check this. We need to make sure we get all of our gaps here. So Russell's going to be pulling things today. Looks like we have index divergence coming through. Be very this is unusual rule. Just means just be cautious. It's alerting you that the index are moving at different speeds again. As you see Nasdaq going up, S&P going down. Same story as always. Okay, make sure we got all of our gaps marked. QQQ has filled, and that has now filled. This is QQQ's gap. And we're right on the edge there. So I think that once we fill that gap, it's probably, that's the end of the move. All right, so, it might be a down day today. Let's be very careful. Irrational rules mean that I want VIX, I want the resilience numbers to be a little bit more than 0 to be bullish, so greater than 10. So this is probably the move today. If we're getting downside and divergence. But we'll see. So limited upside on Qs. SPY in a liquidity pocket with resilience trying to deteriorate DD 0.83. So that's good. So ideally, after maybe 3 or 4 minutes, res hangs in there and is positive, then I'd like to trade it up to there, obviously for positive resilience. But there's a great 414 support if I want to go in there and get that one. So that would come in through maybe like another 10 points lower on the S&P would kind of impact line from yesterday. Let's go here and double check that. I didn't draw those because I wasn't here. Hear about the Suburban Trader map. You're interested in learning more about it. Send me videos about how this works. Yeah, in the trial, you can actually go through the whole program. And we're constantly, adding things to it and making the videos even better and adding new features and adding videos on those. And you just do the 3-month trial and you can go through at your heart's content and learn everything. Okay, trying to impact from yesterday. Res just went negative. Yeah, this might be another sit out day. Yeah, James, check it out. Like I said, it's a $200 a month subscription, and we made it $35 for 3 months. So you might as well take advantage of at least the entire 3 months, just because. It's gonna be cheaper than a Discord for sure. And the stuff we teach is not, you can't learn it anywhere. There's nobody who goes over that type of material. And so it's unique. So you'll get something unique out of it. Okay, that red line has been tapped. Okay. This is impact run length from yesterday. This is a trick we teach. And of course, when we get our futures data automated, we're going to hopefully get all this stuff automated as the next step. Now, those of you that say, hey, I'm a futures trader, how come you're always looking at SPY? That is the trick for liquidity maps. So with Rocket Scooter, we have a bunch of tools. So the way I do futures stuff, I still do it manually in Thinkorswim until we get our futures data. And I'll manually do it in Rocket Scooter. But when we get futures data, we'll automate everything else. But there is a trick. See, there's that run length red line. If you've ever been through the run length class, there it is. You see how that worked? There's that midpoint there. Res is negative on an S&P bounce. I think on all. Don't know how to feel about this. Again, we'll have to. me mute that. Okay. All right. A little bit of discrepancy here going on. DD holding the fort, bull zone. Looks pretty solid. Now, again, we don't have that resilience agreement there. It's been such an interesting dynamic to see that the SPY has been traveling really farther ahead than a lot of the stocks because of that discrepancy between the two indices. How's QQQ look? Blasting through the gap and continuing on. So looking pretty good. What's up, Squallet King? What's up, man? It should be about 2 weeks, the way I'm guessing, that I'll be able to, on the test server, at least execute all my first test trades and get test data on here. It shouldn't take too long to get it hooked up. At least on the test server for me to take a look at. So ideally, when you sign up for Rocket Scooter and you select your data, you'll now have the option to select futures data and futures brokers. After you do that, I don't trust this move up unless Raz gets busy here. That gap fill's probably the top. That. Nice little overshoot though. Still a big divergence between the two. What do you guys think? Smash that like button, and if you don't mind, everybody hit it. A little thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if it's your first day here, and don't forget, we offer our data feeds as the only thing you pay for the most part, in the Rocket Scooter Extended Trial. $35 a month. You can go through all of our courses. You're going to learn positional risk analysis, a different type of analysis that is completely separate and great confluence to traditional technicals. We look at options to find market maker and institutional positions in hedging. And with that, I don't use multi-time frames anymore. Save that. I use one chart. Everything's automated on the chart. I'm showing where bulls are positioned, bears are positioned, where market makers are hedging. All of that's here. No more technical indicators. Using trend-based analysis or shape pattern analysis. Create a brand new style, and we'll train you in the 3-month program how to use it all. Am I thinking short? I'm not thinking short, but I am thinking where's the long go to? It's a great day. All things are pointing up now. Now, again, there's a little bit of lag on that resilience data because when you go irrational, just for once, right, the market, like if you squeeze an index product, right, on a hedge break, for instance, the index product accelerates. That's what causes it to move faster than the stock. So if like all the stocks are moving up and the index is kind of moving up, and then they move down a little bit and the index moves down and breaks hedge pressure, the index gets thrown lower, the stocks don't get thrown lower. So the reason they diverge like that is because the hedge break can cause the index to accelerate in the other direction. So that way, what that does is it makes resilience no longer have that leading effect that we use to show that when stocks lead the market. So when you have a hedge break, you can take the other side of the coin and say, well, resilience is likely going to lag. It's going to show the index is moving the other way first, and then it's going to catch up to the stocks, or the stocks are going to catch up to it. You can say that that's a possibility now. An auto gain for your mic. Sometimes you talk real low. Oh, that's my fault. It's a dynamic mic, so I'm turning my head. That's why it's really low, like right here. Good call though, J Hicks. And you got home sales in 30 minutes and 17 minutes, so be careful on that. We're gonna wait. Event coming up. Like I said, I don't want to do anything until the event. That's how I always trade. There's really no reason to do anything until then. All the data is looking hot for a bull side run, though. Clearly, in days like this, I'd like to take a bounce off of 414 and continue to go on the bull side. Yeah, this could be a pretty... This is a scary open, right? Again, you're not going to get all these clean signals every day. We'll wait for those home sales, and we'll kind of come through that in a little bit. Give me a second. I'm going to be right back. Don't forget to hit the like button, everybody. So anybody get out to see Guardians 3 yet? How'd y'all like the end of the trilogy? No spoilers there, of course. I think like it's kind of weird. Like I really have seen like 3% of the Marvel movies. I really have never. I don't even think I've seen like half of an Iron Man movie. But I love them. There's just too many, and I am a workaholic. I don't get free time to do anything, even though I have all the subscription services. When I'm done working, I go lay on the couch and work from my phone. And I usually have background noise on, so I don't really watch a lot of movies. But at Guardians, I've seen all of them. I love them. All right. Does red lead once again if price go back to the pre-side of head? It can, like once, after some time, res tends to kind of get back in order. So right now with the IWM hedge break, clearly it is showing in resilience being negative like it is. It's still kind of in that noisy range. It's still just showing lack of trust in the upside move just yet, as far as like a strong signal. Even if I were trading it, you would still take it just with the understanding that there's a higher probability I could be wrong, so I would take a smaller position. Great question, so. For some reason, I like the Guardians movie a lot. I've seen most of the Avengers ones too, and a Doctor Strange movie. Can't remember which one. I'm like, there should be a time where I commit an entire summer to just going through the entire Marvel Cinematic Universe. My friend posts on Facebook, like, this is the order you should watch them all in to get like one giant story. I was like, whoa. But then it's like, I don't know. I may be like hated for this comment, but I never understood. I mean, I understand that Captain America is like badass, you know, and he has like really cool powers and whatever. But like, I always found like the Captain America or the Hawkeye kind of movies just to be boring. Like, if I want to watch a superhero movie, I want to watch like monsters and aliens and like crazy superpowers, not just like strong person doing strong person things. So I always like, I think I tried to watch Captain America movie and I was just like, it's kind of boring. Like, even when Wolverine movies were like just Wolverine, they kind of like lost their comic book coolness to it. Like, I think I saw, what was it, the Logan movie? I was just bored. I was like, now I remember what made, even though Logan's awesome, I was a huge fan of the X-Men. Growing up, I used to watch the cartoon all the time. I mean, I was a huge fan, even the comic books too. But it's like, the movies are just awesome when you have like all the heroes there, you know? For the report event schedule, I use investing.com. You can use any one of them. I just got used to using this many years ago and I never changed it. So when I open up a browser, it opens up all of these things automatically. So in my pre-market, I have a class of like my pre-market techniques. This is all in there and what I do. So this is a nod to wages coming down, which is inflation coming down, CPI coming down, etc. So the question is, how quickly is the Fed going to reduce their rate hikes? Are we going to get a zero this time around? We got to be getting a zero this time around. I mean, it doesn't make any sense to not have the Fed sort of like, you know, make sure they just, and they put a little pinhole in the growing bubble. Post-COVID short squeeze. See that right now. I'm gonna wait for the retails. I mean the home sales, and then I'm gonna try to make a trade. So nothing just yet until then. Conflicting signals. Resilience less than zero. So I'm just kind of waiting. Logan disagrees this morning. So just kind of back to that commentary. There's you know, the post-COVID short squeeze bubble got popped a little bit. Not popped, but like depressurized a little bit. The market came down, induced some layoffs. Now you're going to have to kind of like put a floor underneath it so that you don't lay off everybody and create a big market collapse. So we're in that boat right now, where I think that the Fed just kind of has to kind of sit still and wait. Could Could they continue raising rates to consolidate who owns land? Seems like a rich people if eventually from that. I'm not sure time to make all the decisions. I'm reading what somebody said in chat. Oh. How many consolidate? Deadpool. Oh, Deadpool's cool. I didn't like Deadpool. And speaking of Ryan Reynolds, I may be like the only person that actually liked Green Lantern. I thought it was a very well-made movie. Everyone hated it though. Probably because they didn't like the idea that it was Ryan Reynolds. But then when he was Deadpool, then they loved the idea it was Ryan Reynolds. See, to me, I thought it was funny that there was a little sense of humor in Green Lantern. I wonder why they didn't continue that series. Make some more of them. So normally when you're leading into an event, I like to wait before I go in and do anything. Obviously, the market's just kind of sitting pretty. It is looking good. There's a nice little support here, bull side. This ratio does hint that we do want to touch or stay on the bull side a little bit. We did open below, so be very careful. We did open in this mean reverting territory. So typically when you're in this mean reversion in the middle called liquidity pocket, anytime you touch one of the walls and then return to the middle, it's particularly random. So the idea that it's pushing up through here is a little abnormal. It's not very bullish. It didn't open bullish. I wasn't excited to take a bull trade. The market immediately is kind of containing this last move from yesterday. So we have a kind of statistics. If you open on the bull side, you tend to stay there most of the time, and vice versa. In the middle, there's really no statistic. It's pretty random. Since no one's trading yet, I had this written down. So here you go, Matt. What you got? Oh, Chris is talking about a land grab. Well, that happens all the time, right? Wasn't it BlackRock that went up and gobbled, I don't know how much, like just countless amounts of land after the last recession? That's what people tend to do. Wealth tends to acquire property in recession. I think aren't they like the biggest landlord on the planet? It's BlackRock or Blackstone, one of the two. In order to watch what? X-Men First Class, 2 X-Men Days of the Future Past, X-Men Origins Wolverine, X-Men Apocalypse, Dark Phoenix, 7. Is this including the Ooh, maybe I should go into X-Men watching bits. I'm gonna remember this, Alexander. What about the these are the original X-Men as well. Let's see. X-Men First Class. Just pass. Origins Wolverine. That'd be a fun week. Watch all of them. Thanks for typing that out. Is it Blackstone? Yeah, Blackstone. Okay. We've got 1 minute until the information comes through, so kind of just wait. Let's see those catalysts come through. That's pretty big data point. Obviously, people are looking at the ability for folks to get loans, right? This is also delayed. Like if a home sale is a home that had to have been built months prior, which means it had to get a loan from the company to get built, which means banks had to think that the home would sell, yada, 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 for lenders to lend to the builder. And so this is like a delayed metric, but if home sales are down now, it mean a lot of things. Either, builders are sitting on a lot of property they can't sell. People can't get loans. A lot of these, this is why this is a big deal. This is like, there's 3 stars here. This can hint at a lot of problems in a recession. Like people, it can be credit drying up, which is bad for the banks. It can be people risk of default on their loans, can't get the loan. Coming in pretty much at par. Let's see now that data is coming through. So when you guys are trading, you have to make sure that you're always on top of your news, like as it's going. You have to understand what can or can't affect the market. And the sales have been down ever since, the recession started. The existing measures the annualized change, the number of existing residential buildings that were sold during the previous month. So this is the last months of data. Clearly, there's a little bit of a boom. This would be seasonal. People tend to go in there and buy houses closer to the summer so they don't have to relocate their kids in the middle of a school year. So this is not a reverse in direction. This is just your seasonality of early summertime housing sales. You tend to get a little bit of a rise in the summer. But you have two big decent data points that are, I would say 500,000 more houses last couple. So it's 1 million houses total. Hold on. Is M 1,000 or 1 million? Let me double check this. Sometimes there's two conventions on that. M typically means 1,000 in engineering. 2 M's would mean 1 million. It doesn't sound right to be 40. It's probably 1,000. I don't think that one out of, yeah, that's definitely 1,000. But you do see people use different conventions. Yeah, it's definitely 1,000. So investing.com, capital M is just M being the Greek numeral for 1,000. So we have roughly, is it? So about 10,000 more sold off of that low here. So typically you're having 40,000. And now you're getting a bump of, 45 and 45 for the most part. It's not a terrible sign. Of course, it does come in at par expectation. So I think it's going to have a non-effect on the market. And here goes, have a non-effect on the market. That's how, and Peter, I'm in the same way. I'm in the same capacity. You know who messes it up? Oil and gas sometimes. Sometimes the British units or the American units in oil. Because oil has its own standard units, right? Typically, in the scientific community, you should correctly use M for 1,000 and 2 M's for 1 million. But capital M, like MSPBD, million standard barrels per day, tends to mean million. And they don't put the double M's. That's where it got confusing. The oil and gas just never cared about anyone else's conventions. They have their own units. I'm going to watch the X-Men in that order. It'll be awesome. Okay. All right. After this came through, there is no change. The S&P does look like it is going to get some probably resistance here. We do have competing numbers. Again, this is just characteristic of this consolidating. This entire week has been weird. Right? We've had some pretty clean trading all year, but this week particularly has been very weird. And we also have monthly expiration tomorrow, so be very careful. Let's piece it all together. DD, right? You have support at bull zone, which is what you're seeing. Resilience is bouncing all over the place, so you need to see that res greater than 10 now. I'm going to push this way. It's getting there. You also have another type of trade, which is you're going to have what we call the DD tap from a liquidity pocket. So if it hits the middle and DD is still greater than 6, there's a leg there. So I'd be willing to scalp from here to there or from there back to there, which is probably a better scalp because it's a bigger range. Again, this is only 10 points and this is 5 points. But it does point to the picture that we are limited. At least on the downside, we're limited to in here. So if I were to take a guess, market can do something like that today. It's, in my opinion, it's not going to do that unless we get some power, which we're starting to grow here. So it's probably going to happen. The first way I drew it. It's starting to grow a little bit. So, Tesla looking spicy. Let's run the scanner for some stocks. Let's see what we have. First and foremost, let's look for the breakouts. Let's look for some nasty MHP breaks. I'm gonna get Palantir to the upside. Baba. Oh, by the way, Bob and Walmart came through, both pretty decent. The surprises were great. Again, most earnings are going to come through as surprises this quarter. So yeah, I think that again, it's an update today. It's just where's it an update from in the market? Yeah, I always prefer trading the S&P over NQ. You get better reads on the S&P. There's less things you have to watch. S&P, you just have to watch the S&P. NASDAQ, you also have to watch the S&P with it. And keep an eye out on all the stocks that tend to move the NASDAQ. And sector rotating is very, very kind of a big thing that you can't see in the NASDAQ, so it's a little harder. You kind of have to monitor all the sectors at once to make sure that the NASDAQ's just not falling one direction, going to snap back into the S&P. A little bit more difficult. And the NASDAQ has a thinner bid-ask. It moves quicker. It's less diversified, so it's less liquid. There's a lot of... It doesn't mean it's terrible to trade. It's just the S&P and NASDAQ are very similar. The S&P is more diversified. It's more stable. I see Baba falling off of its pre-market earnings. Let's see Micron. I'm looking for stocks that are getting some momentum here. That monthly hedge resilience is pushing higher. So again, some stocks that are breaking to the upside. You can actually do break up. Is it just the breaks in general? So let me look at that. These are the big runners today. Laser, Palantir, Micron, WDC, Snow, Cisco. That's how you find your list of runners, by the way. This is a great... MHP breakup and distance from half gap. So like essentially how far you've gapped up and run. Yeah, NQ can do its own thing a lot of the time. And that's one of the things that makes NQ hard, because it's very sensitive to like the meme stocks, right? You get the meme effect from a lot of the big heavy tech. Or it can just go crazy. All signs looking decent here. Just popping up some plays, some breakout plays. And this is how you can do it in the scanner. MHP breakup. And then you can sort distance from half gap and find the ones that are starting to move the furthest from half gap. If you want to find ones that are just about to move, you can sort them that way. TSCO, EA. These are the ones that have potential to run that haven't run yet. Right. Take advantage of the MHP break phenomenon. Okay. Like I said, no bear days here. We seem to be getting these calls right, like on a daily basis. Unfortunately, just not not stable enough for me to want to take a trade on it. Hold on one second. Oh, my bad. Okay, so MHP breakdown and hedge pressure breakdown, or hedge pressure MHP break up and illiquidity pocket together. Illiquidity pocket is when your bear zone and bull zone are like this, with the bear zone on top, bull zone on bottom. It tends to break very rapidly through the zones. United Healthcare. So you'll find that if you have, there's not that many options on the downside. It's an update today. So let me look for hedge pressure breakups, right? Similar setup. Lululemon, when you break into illiquidity pocket like this, it tends to run faster. Lululemon's a great play on a hedge break to there. As you remember, if you have a bear zone and a bull zone like this with the bull on top, Oh, dang it, there's an auto scaling. Come on. You tend to meet in the middle. But if the bull zone is below the bear zone, see, think of it like this. If you have bears down here and bulls up here, in the middle, bears are losing and bulls are losing when you're in between the two like that. When everybody's losing, there's no momentum. But when a bull zone and bear zone are this way, like price being inside of here, bears are still winning, bulls are still winning, everybody's winning. So instead of pushing to the middle like a liquidity pocket right here, it tends to rush from one side to the other very quick to get out of the middle. It hates the middle. So an example would be this. The play would be to there and then X out. So finding runners, that's one of the ways I do it. I'm trading options all day long. Take hedge pressure breaks to find your momentum, illiquidity pocket to find your speed through the zone. So if you guys want to know, this is one of the best scanners out there for that, for finding momentum. Just two things. Either hedge pressure break will give you that momentum right from a squeeze. And if you're squeezing into an illiquidity pocket, just that kind of doubles down that pressure. So let's do like MHP breakup. Illiquidity pockets. There's a rare case, right? SPXL just showed up on that, and it's the long S&P. You go look at that. So this could be a nice, strong bull day for the S&P, SPXL at least, right? That's how that works. If you're trading solo and only concerned about yourself, what would you look for every day as your go-to play? Exactly what I'm doing here for the Elite Trader funding. I want, I'm going to look at a monthly map. Let's look at that first. Look at SPY for monthly map. You can see how yesterday, remember we talked about how there was an inflection point kind of towards the end of July, and the monthly maps are very much still the same. So I know that the market's still bullish-ish throughout the next couple months. So I know I'm looking for dips to buy. Like I'm not taking the short side when the bull side is getting stronger and the bear side is getting weaker. When they both slip down like that, that's what that means. Short squeeze. The monthly map has painted a short squeeze for the last 6 months. It's been amazing at doing that. So now I know top down. All right, I need to find bull side trades, and I'm going to look at the S&P or Nasdaq futures, whatever looks great, and come through here. And I want signals to line up with the bull side. If the greater macro is bullishness, which it is, I'm looking for bull setups. So again, today I scared myself out of doing anything because I really need to get off of an edge to trade from. So I was going to go for 414. This is a normal long I would take. I would have taken that on the 10K account as well. I just didn't do anything just yet. Sometimes I get distracted in the morning with all the projects we're working on. It's great. Futures data is coming, so I'm as a middle typing something up for that. But either case, looking at this, resilience started to stabilize here. Clearly, it was a good push to the upside. Upper DD band is kind of where I think we're going. Why does it keep doing this? Stop squishing things. Oh, because it's trying to get MHP on the chart. Oh, that's why. But Rocket Scooter is Bay, the platform, the education community. Well, thank you so much. We love you. So now I know I'm looking for what we like to call golden setup, some like basically nickname people gave it, where all things are pointing the same direction. DD positive, you're in a bull zone. Resilience, definitely bullish. No irrational signals. This is actually a very clean day. As of now, right? Did y'all notice something different about the Rocket Scooter Twitter account? Did y'all notice anything new? Apple has a similar setup. Yeah, it does. So there's always SPY, never individual using the scanner. Well, no, if I'm trading options, I'm using the scanner. So like next time I come on doing an options challenge, I'll definitely be using the scanner. Brian said golden shower spray, you're in the wrong chat. Golden showers, baby. Rocket Scooter has a gold check now. And a square icon. Look how pretty that is. We're official now, baby. We have official business verification on Twitter. Upper DD touched on Nasdaq. That's the completion there. Yep, this is a great day to see that. Let's go up here really quick. There's that play right to here. Love it. Got to reiterate, we've been calling it right for the last 6 months. Last month, no downside, no downside. The only argument is how high we're going. I kept saying 4,600 on the S&P over the next 3 months, so yeah. A couple more things I gotta do really quick. I have a really busy day today. I have a lot of meetings. All right. Looking for golden showers, Bo. BLD on Tesla, beautiful play. Both sides against liquidity map. I love it. Okay. All right, y'all. It's a quick stream today. This would be, had I made a trade, this would be the end of the trade. I would have closed out and called it. I didn't do anything today. I got to get on a couple meetings real quick. Very short stream. We love you. Make sure you go check out the extended trial and jump in the Zoom call so we can continue the boot camp. We've been killing it all year. This is great. Having such a great time with y'all. Okay, we'll see y'all. I got to run. Remember, simplify your life a little bit. You know, technical analysis gurus of the world have been selling the same stuff since the 60s. It takes hundreds of monitors, hundreds of charts every time frame. Just looking at history of price, very weak in the modern day to use alone. You need something more powerful. How about looking at everybody's positions months in advance? How are they positioned? Where are their options at? That's what we do. Show you the landscape of the market. Obviously, we were the first people in October to call a bottom and nobody did. We're the people in this consolidation calling the market continuing to go higher when everybody thinks it's coming down. Diamond top was all your chartists. Diamond top, it's coming down. Rocket Scooter said we're going up. Guess who won that one? The truth of the market is hidden in people's positions. So you need to see that to see the truth. Stop guessing. Play what is, and we'll show you. Check out that 3-month. Check out that 3-month trial downstairs in the description below. $35 a month for $200 a month education and platform and data feeds and everything. We'd love to have y'all here.